Hey everyone, how you doing? I'm just gonna make sure I can see the screen a little bit better with all you guys in it. Kayla, Rick, hi, thank you for being here. Jump on in and maybe you can give me a thumbs up to make sure that this is working and that you can hear me okay. Just anyone, just say hello. There's probably a delay, but more than Rick, hello to you. Maybe just another one if that's okay. There you go. I'm here from Philly. Okay. So you guys can hear me okay? Yay, hearing you. Thanks, Jim. Jim, nice to see you. He's a great, very talented voiceover artist. Great. Thank you. Hi, you guys. I hope you're having a great Wednesday. I know this isn't the normal day. I'll mention this again later, but this is the last live that we're doing. They're moving over to a different format. So you could look for me on that, which is Actors Toolkit. But today we're here, and hello from Virginia. Hello everybody that's coming in. That's great. Come on in. Today is a great day to talk about the change that I've seen in the voiceover industry, and that we've all seen, that has kind of reflected from the world. Right? Everything's changed, and I know with that, we get sometimes fearful. Right? I think a lot of you have probably wanted to be voiceover artists for a while, right? You've probably had this interest for a long time. Maybe you're already doing it as well, or maybe you started before and you're getting back into it. Maybe you're an actor and you're transitioning into it, a singer, or whatever it is. The old model of voiceover, even in the last year, has been completely changed, right? As far as how we are delivering our product, how we are as an artist, our business and everything. So I kind of wanted to go over all of that today, especially since this is the last live. And because I feel that there's so much fear in that sometimes, like people can't get over the whole virtual aspect of it, right? The virtual aspect of it. And I thought that the best way to get rid of the fear is to just kind of break it down and tell you exactly what is happening and where I see this going and what you can do to prepare yourself to be the best voiceover artist that you can be in today's market. Okay, so take a deep breath and just know that even though things are changing, I'm here. I can tell you, I can help you to kind of roll with it. Okay, because that's what I've had to do in my almost 20 years of doing this. Okay, so you guys have already seen me and already been on here. You know about where I'm coming from, my qualifications. If not, I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time on it, but you can go to laurieburke.com and look me up there, or virtualvoiceover.com is the course that I am launching very soon. And you could go there and get some more information about me as well. Okay. But suffice to say, I have a pretty good grip on the industry, and I love it. And so I'm going to share it with you. Okay. So first of all, let's just break it down. What is virtual really, right? Because this is going to be virtual voiceover is a thing. Virtual voiceover is what we are basically doing now. Okay. So virtual is basically something not physically existing as such, but it's made to appear so by software. Okay. Not a big deal. That's kind of what we do anyway with voiceover, right? And voiceover is a piece of narration that, maybe is not accompanied by an image or a person, a live person, right? So basically, that's what we're doing. That's what virtual voiceover is. Okay. So now that you know that, that's a definition of that. Wonderful. We can kind of just look back and see how things have changed and see how we're going to evolve into something a little bit probably greater than what we had before. So in the beginning, let's even say, even before all this, people were just talking, nothing was being recorded. Okay, the first microphone was invented the late 80s. I think it was like 88 or something. There was a patent from Thomas Edison. Okay, there was a couple other people there, but he was the one that was credited with the patent. Then I think it was first used at the Met Opera in 1910. And so as you can see, that sounds like a long time ago, but it's not really. We're just kind of keep ramping up. Now, throughout that time, microphones were being invented and different ways of the voice going from the microphone to wherever it needed to be was being worked on and changed. Okay, so I'll just do the ones that are actually applying to us. ISDN line, that was something that came in the 80s, around 88, I think. That uh, got the information over phone lines, your voice over phone lines. And so you can actually, studios sent files that way, and recording that way and things like that. So even when I first started, that was kind of a thing. If you had an ISDN line, that was a big deal, right? Because a lot of studios had that. Now, as we go forward and in today's market, we have Source Connect and Clean Feed, and I know there's going to be tons more coming up. Okay, these are all different ways of getting your voice to a studio and then to the end client. Okay, so let me break down how that usually used to go. It used to go, okay, a person, us, a voiceover artist, got hired, right? Made a demo, right? Studied, made a demo, auditioned, got hired. The studio would call you in. You would go to the studio. You would record at the studio. The engineer would mix it, do its thing, and then send it over to the client. Okay, so in today's market, and what we're dealing with now is we are the people that we study, we make a demo, we audition, we get the job, we record it, we send it to the client. Right? It's kind of, now there are still many voiceover jobs that will go back into studios, because studios are wonderful. I'm a studio nerd, and they really know what they're doing, and they put the music in and they do everything for the client. But right now, especially, it's on us to do everything. And that is virtual voiceover. Okay. That's what we're doing. And it's our business. So your business as a voiceover artist or actor, whatever you want to call it, if you choose to do so, is to learn all the facets of this so that you could be marketable, so that you can work consistently, and you could have your own business, work from home, work from anywhere in the world. Okay. The big thing, I've said this many times before, that I've seen, especially in the auditions that are coming over and going through, are, do you have a professional home studio? Do you have Source Connect? Those are the two things right now. So those, you need to learn how to do those right now, honestly, if you really want to get in the game. And especially, I've had home studios forever. I'll tell you how that started, and maybe that will kind of give you a little bit of an idea. When I first started, I studied like you guys are. I invested in everything. I made my demo, et cetera, met somebody that was from Channel 36 in LA. And I said, yeah, here's my demo. Here's blah, blah, blah. And they're like, great. We want you to record these promos. Can we get it tomorrow or whatever it was? Right. And I was like, oh, sure. No problem. Now they were fully anticipating that I had I was affiliated with a studio, like I had some sort of thing. And I was like, oh crap. I don't know what I'm doing. This is like 20 years ago. Right. Luckily because I didn't learn that from my teacher in voiceover, because it wasn't even like a thing really. You just always went to a studio. So luckily I have my brother, who's this amazing composer and studio engineer. He's everything. And I said, and back then a musician, and I said, you got to help me. I need to know what to do. I need to know what to get. Just give me the overview of what I need. So the microphone, the preamp, how you want to set up, there's a lot of where you want to record, all that stuff. So I just in an hour conversation, I said, I need to do this by like tomorrow. So I figured it out. Was it the best? No, but that's what I'm here for. Now I can tell you what the best is, but I did it. I recorded it. I mean, after I freaked out and all that stuff, I sent them all the stuff and I went on to record for them for like the next year. Right. So that whole little thing has now grown into, over the years, I've kept building studios everywhere I've gone. And people that know me know, I'm like, oh no, I have a studio in there. And then I have a studio out there, and I have a mini studio here. And if I travel, I make another studio. And on the set, I got to build another studio here. So that's kind of my thing, right? Is how can we get this set up? Even if it's a MacGyver kind of move, right? Because a lot of people, are always ask me, is it a lot of money? What do I need to begin with? All that stuff. I got you. It doesn't have to be a lot of money. You can completely set this up and deliver a good product. You just really have to know what you're doing with your voice. And that's why I keep saying that. Had I not already studied and knew what I was doing as a voiceover artist, all this other stuff wouldn't matter, right? So you got to know that first. But now you also really have to know your equipment and your home studio and how to get things to people. Okay, so I'm going to give you some examples of some jobs that are just consistently going virtual. As you know, you're watching this right now, right? Um, we typically didn't always watch YouTube lives. I don't think they were even that big of a thing, right? I mean, they were, but not like this. Zoom was like, you know, right? Now those things are being used even in sessions. Okay. And what I mean by that, I'll just give you another little example. I did a voiceover for the Lincoln Project, and this will happen when you get booked, right? Is they say, okay, great, we're going to have the feed, either Source Connect or Clean Feed I did for a looping job, but Source Connect is usually the standard right now. But we also want to see you on Zoom. Okay, so I had to have my camera right up here with them on Zoom, and then and you have to know which one to silence, and then I recorded at the same time, or actually through my computer or interface, whatever. But I also had my microphone into my preamp into my computer, and that went to their studio. So as I spoke into my microphone, that went directly into their board, okay, their sound board. So I had both things going. These are things I was never asked to do before this, right? But if I can learn it, you can learn it. Well, I mean, I already knew everything, before this, but if you get the foundation, you just kind of have to roll with this moving technology. And I'm telling you guys, this is not the end of this evolution. I mean, it's just going to keep going. There's going to be new things coming up, I think, new technology coming up. So if you get the general idea of how this all works, you're going to be set. Right. And then also don't get fearful when things change. And when you're called upon to do something new, you just have to figure it out. Call somebody. Yes, you can read things on the internet. I think it's easier to call somebody personally. But you really have all these tools. Just don't be afraid to learn. Right. Another thing is this, right? This YouTube live that I'm doing right now for Backstage. Okay. I wasn't doing YouTube lives before this. And so I had to learn that technology. And there was some, times where it went out. Sometimes there were blips and things going off, but that's all right. It's all a learning thing. I'm making this course, right? My virtual voiceover course that I've never taught on that kind of way in like a group setting where, everything's going to be like, things live. Everything I'm teaching is live because I want to do that. And Q&A and all that stuff. I didn't know about all that. So I'm learning that now. I'm in the weeds of that now. I mean, I'll be launching pretty soon. So get on the list if you want, virtualvoiceover.com. That was a little plug, but I'd love to see you there. But I had to learn all that, right? This is all things that you are capable of learning too. So I just don't want you to be afraid of it. Some of the things that we are now doing virtually that we used to go into studios for, I mean, looping, loop group, stuff like that. You used to go to a studio with a bunch of people and you do that. We're now doing that virtually. We're doing news pieces, instead of having the reporter there, they might have like a B-roll and they would have us talk. Now, these are also new opportunities for voiceover artists. And that's why our industry is growing and growing and growing at such a rapid pace, right? Commercials. People are like, I don't want to go through all the COVID stuff where we're testing and we're doing this, we're doing that. So I've got all the footage. One guy goes out and gets all the footage and then calls me and says, hey, listen, here's the narrative of it. Can you do a voiceover for it? Right? Or different things. So a lot of opportunities have opened up, right? Celebrities are on Zoom. They're doing things that are, that they haven't done before, books on tape, and audiobooks, things like, not books on tape, excuse me, audiobooks. People used to go into the studio and do that too, and they're learning how to do it at home as well. So the point is you have to learn how to do it correctly and learn how to do it well, and that'll take all the stress out of these changing times and make you really excel at it. Really excel at being a voiceover artist and be very happy that you are in control of all of it, right? It's scary, but it's also good because, I mean, you only have yourself to blame when it goes wrong, but you only have yourself to reward when it goes right. So it's not a bad thing, right? So I just want you to take a minute. I congratulate you for even being on Backstage Live and wanting to learn more, because that's the first step, is having that sort of thing like, okay, I need to take this seriously. I need to learn how to do it. And I'm going to invest some time and money and energy and all that stuff and make this happen. And I promise you, for me, it's been so worth it. I mean, there are times, like I said, everything creating this course that I'm doing has been, I mean, anxiety because I want it to be a certain way and I want it to be so good. And I want to answer everybody's questions and I want to give them like just tons of information that they could have, like a roadmap. I'm going to have a roadmap that you have, like to where you could just show them exactly how to go. So that anxiety of trying to figure things out doesn't happen. You just have all the tools that you need. That's scary, but I'm learning and I'm investing. I invested in learning it from other people who have done businesses like that. So that's basically it, especially for this last live that I'm doing. I just wanted you to know that you can do it too, and you can learn, and you could be great at this, and you could really love it, and it's worth it. It's worth it. Don't get afraid of the tech. It's really, really worth it. Once you have everything set up, you could dial it in, and then, I just did a voiceover yesterday where, of course, just always expect that something could go wrong, and you've got backup systems in it, and you've got other backups. I think are good. Backup microphone, backup, cords, backup things like that. And you'll learn that, you'll learn that. And that way you'll just always be relaxed. Like, okay, I can figure this out. Right. I had something go wrong yesterday. That's why I'm saying that. but I figured it out. I figured it out and I recorded it for a client and it was fine. They loved it and all that stuff. So anyway, I hope this helps. Why don't I take some questions and let's see what you got. Okay. Let's see. Is this live or recorded? It's live. It's live. If in case you're wondering, let's see what I'm going to try to look on this and see if I can start from the top here. If there's anything else here. Yes. I have my equipment. I want a book. Okay. You have your equipment. Make sure that you know what you're doing as well. So there's, it's like, don't have an agent without knowing how to act, you know what I mean? Because then it's not really helping. So make sure that you know how to use that equipment and practice. And that's it. Okay. I joined this week. That's great. Yes. Wilbert, hi. I'm an actor who's interested in voice acting now. Yes, exactly. And the thing is, again, guys, so many people come to me. So many of my students who I adore and I love, and they're like, okay, I want to make a demo. Learn how to do it first before you make a demo. You don't want to put out a bad demo, right? And learn how to do this craft, this virtual voiceover, before you put yourself out there. Because that's great. You make a demo, you get hired, and then you're like, crap, I don't know exactly what to do. I don't know if this goes wrong or that goes wrong, or how I should follow up with them, or what the flow is. How do I bill them? How do I do it? Those are the things that you should know before you even start doing this. You can audition for Backstage. Backstage is great because that's a great way to find work. I love Backstage. I've got students that are on Backstage that book all the time, right? But you need to know what you're doing on your end. It's great to get the job, but you got to know what you're doing on your end. And that way it'll be a lot of fun as well. So stepping out of your comfort zone. Great. Don't be afraid to learn. Yes. Been learning, not afraid. Great. Thank you. Thank you. I can't pronounce your name, but thank you. Let's see. Sorry, I'm late, but I'm here. It's okay. Can I still use Audacity? You can use whatever you want. I always say that's a great thing. And I'm SS Allermoon. All right. You could use Audacity. You could use whatever software you want, whatever works for you. I always say, when people ask me like, well, what's the best software? Now I've got a whole list, and it's actually changed this year since like even doing other videos for Backstage of my favorite microphones, my favorite software, stuff like that. But right now, what I can tell you is that whatever software is working for you, that you can operate easily and efficiently, and it sounds good, use that. Don't get caught into that whole snobbery of like, you got to use this, you got to use that. There's like Pro Tools, Logic. There's all these different debates. Don't get into that. Just use what is working for you right now and get to know your voice, especially when you're first starting out. Okay, how do I get trustworthy voiceover work in the industry during this times? You're awesome. Oh, well, thank you. I think Backstage is great because they're trustworthy. I know their casting. I know all that stuff. And so they're a good time. I think you probably want to, once you get an agent, and I I've done other talks on that about agents. Once you get that, then that's trustworthy work, obviously. So I would maybe write out your goals, and then go backwards on how to get there. So let's see, can you recommend a book on the voiceover biz? Maria, I can't recommend a book, but if you want to study with me, I'm giving a course. It's a boot camp. It's an inexpensive course that'll be coming out in very soon. So just go to virtualvoiceover.com and get on the wait list, and then you'll be notified and all that stuff. And it'll be live. And so hopefully that'll answer the general questions that you have, and even some more deep questions that you have. Yes, Backstage. See, we have tons of voiceover casting calls, and even Backstage. And I know Backstage for many, many years. They didn't always have voiceover on this or featured so much, right? I mean, so they can attest to the growth that this industry has had in the last year. And again, the technology has also advanced within this last year, and things have changed. Like I said, from when I was first doing these lives to now, I have different opinions on things, on making demos, on equipment, things like that, because I've used different things and tried them during this time. Sailor Moon. Okay, Sailor Moon. Hi. Oh, that's great. Okay, sorry, I misspelled it. Okay, that's okay. This might be a dumb question. Ryan, there's no dumb questions. I'm new to Backstage and under the age of 16. Any tips? Ryan, have you studied? You're new to Backstage. That's great. 16 years old is great. I've worked with children before, or you're not a child, I'm sorry, teenagers, I guess. And there's a real market for that, especially in animation too, and for authentic 16-year-olds, let's say, and in commercial. Actually, a lot in commercial as well, right? Because somebody's got to play the kid, the child. Again, you're not a child. I'm sorry. I have a 16-year-old nephew. He's going to kill me. You know what I mean? Someone your age. So are you all set up? Do you have your equipment in place? Did you study? Do you know what you're doing for voiceover? Know that before you start booking things, I guess I would say. Yeah, have a way to do it before you get the job, so that you're not scrambled before that. Yes, I will join. What do you think of Focusrite Scarlett 2i2? Oh my God, I love Focusrite. Absolutely, third generation. I have that. That's one of my preamps that I have. Love Focusrite. I do. Yeah. So Sailor Moon, you're right on target there. Okay, we can attest voiceover has grown exponentially over the past year. Okay. So anyway, I know this isn't like a really long stream here or anything like that. If you have any questions, put them in here now. Otherwise, we'll just wrap up. But what basic equipment do you recommend you have at hand, like mic, filter, audio interface? Yeah. So there are some basics that I have. Again, it's just a little bit of a list. Yeah, of course, everything that you just said, I do. The answer to that is I do. You want to see which equipment works best for you in your space. So your home studio is also very, very important as far as how that is set up. And that'll affect what type of mic you get, really. And preamps and all that stuff. Okay. So if you want to do the professional way. So I don't need an agent. How do I find work? I don't need an agent. Yeah, I didn't work with an agent before. I think right now, here you go. Sailor Moon. I think right now there are other platforms that you can get on to get work. However, I have a whole other idea about that too, about the pay-to-play platforms. And what I say about them, they're great to teach you how to get in the rhythm of delivering auditions and actually, doing your job. So that's a great kind of training tool. I don't know about the booking off of them, but I do have a section in my class that goes over that as well, like the various places that you can go. Because that's kind of a longer discussion than what I can do right here. So how do I get started? Janet, you're already starting right now just by watching this. So I always say study. If it's not with me, I know I'm talking about my course because I'm really excited about it. But if it's not with me, and it's a cheap course, by the way, I shouldn't say cheap. It's a very affordable course because I want everybody to know just the basics, and then you could choose if you want to go on from there. Okay. If it's not with me, then study with somebody else. Really learn, take it seriously. This is your job. This is your vocation. If you really want to do this, and this is something that is, it's an art form. It's really an art form. It's being creative every day, right? I love it. I love that. It really made such a big difference in my life. I have a huge pivoting story about it that I don't think we can get into right now because I want to answer more questions. But to where I was working in a 9-to-5 job basically, and I, pivoted everything into this, and I invested everything in this, and that was 20 years ago, and I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I went to it, but I went all in. I definitely went all in. So that's going to be up to you what you want to do with that. So I came in late, so might have missed it. What's the black spiky box behind you versus gray flat background? Oh, this, actually, I don't know if you can still see it or if I moved or what. It's just a little box. That is actually for my course. I'm showing it as one of the makeshift studios kind of things that I made over the years, right? So I just kept building different studios, and that depended on how much money I had, where I lived, what the space was like. When you have a very small amount of space, maybe you're there and you have roommates. Maybe you are just starting out, and I don't know, you've got a tiny room. What do you do? Well, I've got you. I've been there. I've done all of that. And so that was just one of the examples of it. And so it's an old, well, it's not old. It's another one of my Shure mics that I have. I like Shure. So behind you versus gray flat background. I don't know what the gray flat, this is a pads. These are pads. This is a studio padding. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. So it's just the way I have it set up here. This is just one of my studios that I have in my house. Okay. Am I going to be taken seriously if I have created my own reel from home, or should I wait until I can get into the studio to do a proper one? Anya, my answer to that is, and that's part of the course too, is you should have somebody listen to your reel and make sure that it sounds right, that you have the right things on your demo, that your demo is the correct length, that you have your best voices on there, that they're different styles, this and that. So you really should have to have, somebody else that's a professional listen to it. That would be my answer to that. Okay. It doesn't matter. I don't care where you made it. There's a lot of people, including myself and including some of my students now, that are very, very capable of making demos. And that's kind of the newer thing that's happening. But you have to really know how to do that. I mean, you have to really take that seriously. It's a big thing because that's your calling card. So have somebody else listen to it and have them give you feedback, or maybe more than one person, but have somebody that's in a higher authority, that would actually be hiring or casting or something like that. Okay. How do I leverage my voice reel? Tulu, you're submitting. So that's, if you have a good voice reel, of course, upload it to any site that you're on, including Backstage. Okay. I'm trying to quit Amazon. I don't know what that means, but portable sound booth. Oh, okay. I'm trying to quit Amazon. Who can quit Amazon right now? Jesus, I'm on it all the time. Anyway, I really, it's like it's there, and then you could always return it. It's great. But a portable sound booth is another thing that I talk about a lot. I've made my own when I've been away, or when there's been an emergency voiceover, which I always laugh about. How could it be an emergency voiceover? It just sounds so. But I've made it, and I've got out of yoga mats and things like that. So it's all about the concept of knowing how studio recordings are made and what you need to make it sound good. Is it live courses? Maria, yes, it is. My boot camp is live courses. I just really like this. I like Q&A. I think it's really hard, especially for your voice, to not have that, especially to hear other people's voices. We can't do that here, but I like that, so that there's that. That's what I do, right? So that I can answer it in real time. How do you set up for a small space apartment with roommates? Thank you, Christopher. This is, again, I'm running out of time now, but if you want, just virtualvoiceover.com, get on the list. I promise you'll get an email shortly with a link that has all the information to it. It'll be a really fun course. It's not going to be a huge, amount of, a bandwidth for you. It's going to be really just starting you out like on a good foot. Because I wish I had that course when I started. And that's why I'm making it now. And it'll go over everything. Okay, makes sense. Thanks. I assume it reflects bends the sound, so there's no interference, right? Okay, also just starting out, low budget. Yep, same thing, Christopher. You low budget. There's just different ways. If we join your virtual voiceover coming up, what will we learn? I'm going to join. I just want to know. Oh, of course. No, it's going to be a roadmap. I want to give you a roadmap so you have everything very organized about what you need, about the basics of everything, and then Q&A and things like that, and about microphones, about setups, about reading, everything, just the whole overview of it. That's what you're going to get. So and all this, I'm not doing private lessons anymore. I'm just doing that. So I would rather talk to a lot of people at once, because a lot of people seem to have the same questions, a lot of students. So I thought, this would be a really good thing to do. Doing a voiceover right now for a huge commercial. This came right on time. Oh, that's great. Oh, congratulations. That's wonderful. I'm so glad, Jabbar. I hope I say that right. Congratulations. That's amazing. When you return a casting reel, do you have to compress and edit the file properly, or is it best to send them a raw file? Anya, casting reel. So when you're sending in your audition, I'm a little confused about what you're sending to whom, right? Yeah. Okay. If you're talking about an audition, I think you're talking about an audition, but you can get back to me. Tell us more about the platform they're moving to, please. Oh, Actors Toolkit, Backstage. It's not gonna, Katie, you could talk about that. But Actors Toolkit is just going to be a little bit more, not live, not live on YouTube. But Katie will be, sorry, she's on here. Backstage can tell you a little bit more about that. Just scroll down and I'm sure she will. By the way, thank you for answering all of my questions. Sailor Moon, you're more than welcome. Thank you. I really enjoyed this. Displaced theater actor. This is really valuable. You know what, Sean? I feel you. I'm a theater actor too. I mean, I'm a singer, I'm a theater, I was in front of the camera as well. So I get you. It's really, it's just transitioning though, it's using your talents in different ways. So I also believe, and I'm not going to go into this, but I also believe, when people say just have one thing, I'm so lucky I didn't just have one thing, because I've gotten to do, amazing things in front of the camera, behind the camera, on top of the camera, to the side of the camera, and in front of the microphone. In films and TV and all these things, these different things, industrial, Silicon Valley stuff. I mean, and theater, right? So I just moved from one to the other, and when this came up, and you just have to kind of navigate through it all. So I have faith in you. You're going to be just fine. Let's see. Congrats. Okay, we'll be launching the Actors Toolkit now I can tell you, as one of our new video series. Okay, so there you go. It'll be interactive Zoom that's recorded and put up on YouTube after. Okay, well, she just explained that too. That is what's coming up, because these lives, this is the last live. So great. Let's see, on top of the camera, I know. Okay, let's see. Will Laurie and everyone still be doing the Actors Toolkit? Backstage can answer that. I don't know who else is on it, but I've been asked to join it, so I will do it. It just won't be this, every other time live thing that we're doing now. So she can tell you more about that. I went to our website. It said to sign up. Oh, my website. Yeah. virtualvoiceover.com. Yeah. And just sign up. Just get on the list. Okay. And then you'll get another email pretty soon, and that'll give you all the information for the bootcamp. And it'll be really fun. It'll be really fun. I really can't wait, because it's just this. So that's awesome. Okay. Thank you. Ooh, yay. Okay. So I am, and Sindoro, you're awesome. You've always been here too. Thank you very much for those people that always seem to find me and watch this. I really, really appreciate you being here and your interest in voiceover. It's just it's a profession that I love so much. And I really want more people to get in it. And I really want us to have more of a community in it, because it can be a kind of a lonely profession when you're just in your in your booth and all this stuff. And I think we can all learn a lot from each other. And I also want to help and guide people to really look at it and have fun, and really have fun doing it, right? It shouldn't be a chore to learn how to do something that you really like to do. And I think I really love to do it. And I want to share. That's it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Sindor. Thank you. Loving the sessions, coach. Thanks, Wilbert. And thanks, Sindoro. I sub to your channel too. I know, Sindoro. Thank you. I sub to your channel too. Hello, I'm an actress from Greece. What equipment do we need? All right. Ellie, I'll have you, you can rewatch this. Backstage will have this up. And Maria, thank you very much. Back to you. And get all the information. Again, it's been such a pleasure doing these lives with you guys. Thank you so much for being on. And I really hope that so many things are happening in the world today. And I know it can affect us a lot, especially as creatives, right? We really take things in. And I've been doing this for a very long time. And I know me as a creative, and I know you watching this, you're a creative too. So I hope that you take this creative profession, right, to really enjoy yourself, to really kind of counteract that other stuff that's kind of going on. And I think it's a really fun way to live. To me, it's a lifestyle to do it this way. And so learn your craft and love it and do it. And we'll all be seeing each other hopefully at my boot camp. Okay. So thank you so much, you guys, and have a great day. And that's it. Hope to see you soon. All right. Bye.